Hey everyone. Hope y'all have an amazing day. I feel like being in the talking mood. I don't know why, but I feel like talking, so I'm gonna talk. A question. This is gonna be random. I'm gonna probably have random questions and stuff. But why is it that we as people will go out of our way for people we know that don't like us? And then the people that really care about us, we give them the hard time. And I throw myself in there because I've been down that road. Now, I know what my mission is. I had to tackle the heavy hitters. That was my mission. But ask yourself, why is it that you give more attention to the people that don't care nothing about? Why do you need their validation? And what streamed this conversation is because I'm watching a person literally go and try to be there for somebody, and not just one person, but this person normally goes out and deal with people, and these people don't like this person like that. Like, you can see it. How is it that you don't see it? And I get it because I went through that phase, but the thing about it is, again, I went through like spells and stuff, but I still saw it because I paid attention to details. So I'm gonna ask you, why is it that you can't see it? If there's no spells and there's no rituals, there's no nothing voodoo or nothing on you, why is it that y'all feel like y'all need to validate folks? It's like your friend groups. It's like, why you weren't around a bunch of females or a bunch of guys that you don't even like that? Is it because you're lonely? Is it because you just need somebody to talk to? Like, why is it that you go and go out of your way for, these people, but then when it comes to your significant others or your kids or something like that, you can't give them that attention? What is it that make you feel like I have to help them out? And yeah, that's a scratch on the wall. If you're looking at it, it's a scratch and a sticker. Okay, let me get that out of the way. But yeah, so what is it? Why? Ask yourself, why? Why am I going out? Like, think of somebody that you feel like every time they call you jump. Then think about the times that when you need something, how many times they jump for you. And just think about it. And just think. And ask yourself, why do I jump? Now, I get it. In some situation, probably because I care and I'm just trying to do what's right. But how long do you need to do what's right before you realize this is wrong? This is real wrong. It's like, like, how long does it take? You understand? Because that was my issue. I kept give to people, and I knew that they were jacked up. I knew that they was wasting my time, and I knew that they really didn't care nothing about me. But I thought, like, you know what? If somebody shows love and somebody shows appreciation, maybe they'll catch, get the memo and read it and accept it. But then you have to realize some people just don't care about the memo because they're looking at you as trash. So it's like, how long does it take before you how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll? I don't know why that, but that's really what it boils down to. How long do you realize that you're gonna have to keep going through this process to realize that you getting a bunch of bullshit? But it's like your nose stuck up somebody's tail. I'm gonna call it what it is. That's really what it boils down to. Now, am I saying that you can't help people out? I'm not saying that. But how long do you need to be railroaded? How long do you... Okay, I'm going to say something, y'all. And don't take this the wrong way. I tell you, my information is for adults. My spirit is for everybody. My reality is for me. And whoever can tolerate me, here's my reality. So right now, it's been a minute. So excuse my conversations. I give references. Sorry, but not sorry. So if I say something and it refers to something else, let it go over your head. Okay, back to my message. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna be honest all day. Okay, but how, like, when it comes to certain things, like when will you feel like, you know what, enough is enough? Enough is enough. How many times y'all had a person you like, hey, can you come pick me up from work? And then they like 30 minutes late, but they knew 5 hours ago that you had to be picked up. How many of y'all allow yourselves to let your sniff, the person you with, get your vehicle, and then you sitting back and waiting for them to come back with it, but they gone somewhere else? You understand? How many of y'all gave out money to people and then they didn't even give you the money from last week, but they on a new week? It's like they know the schedule of your checks, and then they'll come in and get money off of you. You understand? How many of y'all have, you have grandbabies, and your kids that they went out and had all these kids, and then they dropping them off at your house saying, hey, you got it, you the grandma, that's what you here for, but they going hanging out living their life while you play mama or daddy. How many of y'all went through that? How many of y'all still going through that? You understand? You already lived your life. You already did what you're supposed to do. Now you in a certain age where you're like, you know what? My kids grown. They on their own and stuff. And you just want to sit back and sit in your chair and watch your TV shows or just chill and relax. And then they dropping the grandkids off and saying, hey, you got it. And then they snap at you and catch an attitude and say, well, that's what you're supposed to do. Last time I checked, I didn't pop these babies out. You did. Why you ain't taking care of them? I love them, but just because I'm not sitting back and taking care of them 24/7, that ain't my responsibility. I didn't create that. Okay, I love them and I'm gonna be there for them, but I ain't about to be boo the fool. You understand? How many of y'all go through that? You understand? What about when people, you got rent due and stuff like that, and then you got these people keep asking, hey, I need some money to pay the bills, but then they got money for drinking, they got money for smoking, they got money to trick people out. You understand? How long does it take for you to realize that you're being used? How long? See, the thing is, you have to get to a point where you got to realize that you're draining yourself. Okay, you're draining yourself. And you don't need to allow yourself to be used. You don't need these people validation. And I feel like a lot of times, it's like abandonment issues. Either when you was a kid, you didn't have friends, or your family didn't treat you right, or you thinking this is how you bring your family back together, or, you finally getting friends and you don't want to, lose out on them and stuff like that. You understand? How many of y'all, when y'all go hang out, even females, how many times y'all go hang out and you the one that's left behind, and everybody else got a dude and you by yourself? And they know that they coming all together, but then they invite you just to be able to mock at you. No different than guys. Guys go through it too. You understand? How many times y'all go through that? Fellas, how many times you go through those situations where you actually trying to spend time with the girl you with and trying to do stuff with her, but every time you turn around, she in the club and she hanging out? No different than females. How many times you trying to hang with your dude and he hanging out with his friends all the time? You understand? Like, how long do you supposed to sit back and accept something? It's no different than myself. I go through moments where I look at life and I look at situations and I'm like, I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. This is the thing that happened to me today. I'm always be honest. I told y'all that I'm technically in heaven, but I'm both spirits, okay? I'm the gateway. I'm both spirits. I was created by, how can I say it? I'm a bunch of different things, okay? I'm a bunch of different things or whatever, right? However, I am created from good and evil, all right? Because of my spirit, good and evil. And even though I'm in heaven, it's like, okay, yeah, that's cool and all, but that's another side to me that I still have to utilize. Because if I ignore this part of me because of who I am, all right? Y'all, we'll get to how y'all balance yourselves out. But I have to balance me out, because if I only focus on one energy, then I'm neglecting the other energy. And I have to find a way to not neglect it, because what y'all go through in this world when people tell you can't utilize your emotions. Now, don't get me wrong, some of y'all overuse them or whatnot, big babies, but to the most part, when somebody say, oh, you can't cry, like, hold on, can I at least get one tear out real quick? And, can I have at least 5 minutes? You saying I can't even have that. You know, what happens to you? You become numb. And then what happens when you become numb? You get to a point where you lash out on other people because you're not utilizing all your personalities, all your emotions. And when you become emotionless, then all you doing is how can I say it? You're not knowing how to communicate with people. So when somebody is sad or somebody is going through, you don't know how to talk to them because you was taught that you don't supposed to use your emotions. So when it comes to that other side of me, I had a conversation today and I was like, I'm going to be on both ends. I got a key. Once I come out of the heaven gate, I can lock the door and go walk into the other side and utilize my energy over there however I need to. And then when I leave out of there, lock the door and come back. Now, I know you probably like, oh, hell no, like she on some demon time. No. See, this is the thing. I'm about energy, okay? Equal opportunity for me. I'm about energy. I know how to utilize my energy. So, I told you, I don't do the, go out here, kill and do all that stuff. I don't tolerate that stuff. But I'm about energy. So, as y'all saw my other video, I said, okay, when y'all put that negative energy out and you wishing bad on people, you putting spells on people, it got to come back to you. Well, technically, the ancestors and all of them is handling it, right? They're handling it. They're going out here to get the debts, all right? So if you wish death on somebody and they wasn't, and they were spiritually protected because they believe in God, guess what? You sold your soul, technically. So guess what? The debt still is paid because you didn't believe in a higher power. So what happens? Something happens to you. We've seen enough of it. Ain't no need to pretend like you don't know. You read the Bibles and everything. However, the ancestors in them are the ones that's going out here and doing it. I'm basically giving order. I'm telling them, okay, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do, or whatever. Pull back. Let's wait a minute. Give them another chance or something. Well, at the same time, I can be on the team too. So that means my spirit can go and do whatever it need to do. Am I sitting here like, it ain't like y'all could do nothing about it because of who I am? Y'all see where I'm at? I'm in a house. I've been in the same room for I don't know how long. So even if I was locked up in jail, I could still do the same thing. And we already know y'all MK Ultra me and did all these spells on me and I'm still here. So I feel like I can still do my job regardless what y'all try to do. So I said, I'm not going to stick to y'all standards and boundaries because I have my own. I earned that spot. I earned that level. And when y'all can get on my level, then you can understand where I'm coming from. So I realized I can be able to use all my energies the way I need to use it. Does that mean that I need to tap into the other side? Nah, but at least if I feel like I need to get away from something and I need to release energy, I can release it the right way to the right source. Because I'm not giving out nothing that doesn't need to be given. I'm providing what's supposed to be provided. Okay, I'm basically telling y'all how it's gonna go down. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is this. When it comes to yourselves, how do you know how to operate your emotions and your energies? How you know how to neutralize yourselves? How you know how to communicate what you feel and not be taken advantage of? How you know when to hold it and when to fold it? How do you know who need to be in your life and who don't need to be in life? And the thing about it is, when you're going to do something about it? How long does it take you to realize that you're miserable or things ain't going the way you need to go and you're not in the life you want? And what I'm trying to say is this. As I talk about heaven, right now, I said I'm in heaven. To somebody else, you're like, I don't see the big house. I don't see the fancy car. I don't see you not married right now. Your kids ain't with you. You in somebody's house. This is not heaven to someone. Okay. Then why you not creating your own heaven? Heaven looks different to everybody, just to let you know. Alright? Heaven looks different to everybody, just like hell looks different to everybody. See, somebody hell could be where they didn't win the lottery today. Somebody hell could be where every time they turn around, they can't pay the bills. Hell can be somebody passing away. Hell could be where they got all the money, they got their house and cars, but they don't have love. That could be their hell. Hell can be every time they turn around, There's accidents or something. Hell can be different things for everyone, just like heaven is different for everyone. If you would go into a room and as a collective and everybody would draw what heaven looked like, I bet you everybody gonna have a different picture. The only thing that everybody gonna sit back and have the same is the gold, the bricks on the ground gold, because everybody was told that. You understand? Because people was told that, that's exactly what people are going to put down. But other than that, everybody else can create something totally different. What if somebody heaven looked like an animation? What if somebody heaven looked like a 2D dimension? What if somebody heaven looked like the galaxies? What if somebody heaven looked like animals? What if somebody heaven looked like, the ocean? Everybody heaven's different. Everybody hell is different. So the thing is, how you going to know how to balance the two out? Because you have to utilize both energies. How you going to balance out? How you going to know when you're going too far left and too far right? We already seen what happens with the people in the world, these celebrities, when they got everything they want, right? You got the house, you got the cars, and got all of that, right? And what happened? They still miserable because they already exceeded the top limits. What happened to the people in the world that don't have, that's in poverty and they don't have all this stuff? They going down to the depths. They got to the point they want to give up. So it looked like people at the top feel like giving up and the people at the bottom feel like giving up. So how can we balance the scales out? How you know what need to be for you and what you need to go away from you? How you know how to level yourself out in a way where you can have the best of both worlds, where you can be able to say no and know when to say yes, when to know when to provide funding to somebody and when to say get the hell back. You understand me? You can't say get the hell back in heaven. You know that, right? I need y'all know that. You can't say that in heaven. You can't say get the hell back. So when I tap in that energy, I know I'm in hell. You understand? I'm going to call it what it is, even though it's words, all right? It's just the way you say it. So I can say, F off, you stupid bitch, or something like that, right? I'm in heaven. I'm in hell. But I can say, man, that's stupid. That's how can I say? That's a bitch. Now, what we call a female dog. It's right on one end and it's wrong on the other end. It's literally how you say something and how you do something. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. You utilizing both parties. So how you going to dance with it? How you going to maneuver with it? How you going to be able to know when to, slide to the left, slide to the right? How you going to know how to utilize your energy? See, the problem in this world is a lot of people are being depleted. And what I'm meaning is saying like this, you don't know how to use your energy the right way because you don't have the right sources in your foundation, in your lives. You need to make sure that a person you're dealing with is not just an outlet, but they an inlet. Meaning that they can provide the source to you and the service to you just the same way as they can, you can provide a source and service to them. You understand? It's like this, like my phone, it's on a charger. All right? Without a phone, why would I need a charger? And without a charger, why I need a phone? So in order for both of them to work, I need them to understand how to work together. Equal opportunity, equal understanding. Now it would be messed up if I have a charger, like how can I say it? You know when you have a charger and it don't work.
I'll be back later.
Okay. Okay. So, like for example, how many of y'all when your charger is basically slowly charged and now you're trying to utilize your phone, right? But you sitting here like, Dad, I need you to charge up because you're using your phone, right? So now you putting all that energy into using your phone, but it's not getting enough of charge. And then before you know it, your phone died. Now one is being used more than the other. Okay? No different than when you got a good charger and then your phone acting up because the apps are glitching and stuff. So when it comes to it, you have to utilize both. Both are needed in this world. But how will you know what you need and what you don't need? So when you look at your lives and you look at the energy you put out, you got to ask yourself, am I getting the same amount of energy back? And if you're not sure, remember one thing. Even a remote control, know that it has to be used with the opposites, meaning one side is a positive, the other side is a negative, and vice versa. So if you don't know how to control your life, you might need to turn the batteries around. On that note, you have a blessed day.